just the age of 19. Jack will start with the company later in the year after he finishes his contractual obligations. AEW wanted a longer term for the 19-year-old. However, Jack, his father, and the legal team felt it was best for him to not sign a deal over 2 years at this point, this early in the career. But they're signing people of all walks of life, all experiences, everything. And Ring of Honor's breaking out big bucks to sign guys and girls. And is WWE being petty in a way? Yes. Because, despite what people really, despite what people would say, like, oh, they're being petty, they're being this, they're being that, they're legally bound by a contract. You really can't break a legally binding contract that you would sign. There's the legality of it, and they're taking advantage of it. So these talents who, while yes, they're collecting a steady paycheck, are now being told that you can't be let go, and this is what we're doing in your contract in the meantime. And this is, they didn't do this with talents like when Ring of Honor was kind of coming around and Cody and the Bucks were there. You're now being supported by a billionaire, meaning the Khan family. There's a big network television deal probably going to be signed soon, if rumors are true. And, now they see this as a credible, legitimate threat. And they should. Even though, once TV is signed, then we could have the educated discussion of, okay, well, they're signed to TBS. Now they're in trouble again. So there's that. And that's going to make things interesting. And even further, even things that are even more interesting, and this is the BS that is with the WWE, report WWE superstars being told expiring contracts will be doubled to resign. It appears WWE is doubling up existing contracts for those who want to stay with the company but are being approached by other promotions. In the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, it states that WWE officials are telling talent if they can provide an official contract offer from another company on paper, WWE will not only match it but double it if the talent signs it on the spot. This news comes after rumors of AEW President Tony Khan offering comparable, if not better, contracts to talent, including WWE superstars. That's not rumor. That's Chris Jericho coming out and saying that his current contract is the most that he's been offered. Talk about, I get that WWE's got money and they're worth a lot of money, but man, if they're gonna be, it's like if you bring something, if you provide that the price match guarantee at any like big store, like let's say Best Buy is gonna match the price of something from Amazon just so that they can get the business, This is kind of what that is. And I kept saying, and I will keep reiterating this entire time, that things are going to get nasty with contracts and money and everything. This is starting to get to the point now where it's getting nasty, and WWE is now stockpiling the talent so that they can avoid having other talent go elsewhere. Where now in the time that wrestling's in a boom, there's a Lucha Underground star going through the same thing, and it's a completely different situation, kind of, but they're being withheld from going anywhere else legally. But if you let some of these talents go, they build their names somewhere else. They don't like where they're at after a 2-year deal, let's just say, for instance. Then, you know, I don't know what to say about it because on one hand, I get it, you're stockpiling a talent, but you're now restricting them from growing. And then if you let them go and they grow, and their contract goes up from that other company that they go to, there's more equity behind their name if given the right opportunities, which will then make it better fit for them to come to you, meaning the WWE. I'm sure they're not going to be granted their release, but let's say Mike and Maria go, right? Ring of Honor is going to pull out the big bucks to get them both back in because they were both over Ring of Honor as the Kingdom. And Ring of Honor would be very happy to have them back. And I don't know if AEW would sign them because of the lack of exposure on WWE TV, although Maria is a very popular figure in of herself. I think Ring of Honor and their hardcore fans would be more appreciative of having him back versus AEW, where I feel a lot of fans are expecting a little bit different than what Mike can provide. And that's no disrespect to him as a talent, he's a very good performer. But I feel Ring of Honor will be the ones that pull out the big bucks and take him if he's let go of his contract. The Revival, on the other hand, you know where they're going to wind up going. I don't care what rumor, speculation, this, that, oh, they could go here. No. You know for a fact, especially since the Bucks and them have been teasing it, they're going to want to go to All Elite Wrestling. And they'll know how to utilize them. They'll know how to showcase them. With their talent, they'll be able to do whatever is asked of them. A nice long tag team program between the Revival or FTR is what they'll probably wind up being called, because the trademark was filed by one of the Revival for the hashtag FTR rights. Smart thinking by them. Tremendous thinking by them. Then it's gonna get nasty. And imagine, let's say AJ Styles pulls this off now, right? He stays with WWE because AEW's offering him a 2-year deal for an absolute absurd amount of money. Are they going to want to double on him on AJ Styles? You know, if you're offering that, honestly, like if you're offering a talent that money, it should be about because they're that, you know, they're talented, and where most of these wrestlers are there for a reason, like for their wrestling ability. But, you know, holding them back because you just don't want somebody else to have them is ridiculous. It's like being bribed at a full-time job so you can't chase your dreams. This is kind of what, you know, now there's the point of the wrestling business where these men and women can make big bucks as independent contractors, even if they don't sign with AEW or Ring of Honor or Impact. They have options. And AEW is obviously the biggest threat, especially if that TV deal with TBS is confirmed. They are a huge threat. Huge. The money from the TV deal is going to be ridiculous. On top of the $100 million, that is already an absurd amount of money to start a company up with. So, you know, and these talents are getting even more pissed off now because now they can't go anywhere. A lot of these talents are signing because, oh, well, you know, this is the place to be. You know, where else are we going to go for that bigger paycheck? Now All Elite Wrestling is here. Now this is going to be a time where people are going to really be careful about their contracts and who they sign with and how long they sign with. The money being thrown around by WWE and AEW are going to be ridiculous. Like, again, baseball money, pro basketball money. It's going to be outrageous what these talents are. And good for them. Absolutely good for them. And then when all the other indies go, it makes room for other talents to shine. So we're starting to see the ugliness of it right now. And God knows what other wrestlers are going to be talking to AEW. But I can almost guarantee now new contracts are being made up where, again, you don't think of Ring of Honor as a threat. You don't think of Impact as a threat. AEW is a threat. So now, from what they're saying of like wrestlers are talking to AEW, mid-carders and supposedly a main eventer, I want to know which one this is, that they're able to talk to All Elite Wrestling about, I guess, doing whatever. They're going to make a no contact clause in there that they, like a no tampering clause or something where promoters or other companies can't approach certain wrestlers for discussions during the duration of their deal, of their current deal. So we'll see what kind of legal action gets taken, if any, against the WWE for getting them out of the contracts. Where I feel if enough of these talents request their release and they're not going to be granted, they're all going to collectively get together and get attorneys involved, and this is just going to get sloppy, ugly, everything. And as much as I don't like to see that, because I like competition in pro wrestling, but you got a lot of talent to grow, man. You're doing the talent a disservice. You're doing your company a favor by keeping them in spare parts, but how often are you really going to have them on TV? You know what I mean? Like, the Revival had the thing with the Lucha House Party, which probably set them over the top. On top of not being used in a more creative and effective way like they were in NXT. Because, see, now these talents are going to think of, they want what was in NXT, and that's what they're signed to first. They're going to go up to the main roster and be like, well, yes, I'm not being used. So I really can't wait to see what winds up happening with the rest of these talents going forward. What kind of legalities change around because of all these talents wanting to leave. It's going to be unreal. But I agree with the sense it's a contract. You have to agree with your contract, but there's only so much you can handle. You know what I mean? I completely get it. I completely get it. I can't wait. I really can't. It's getting ugly, but this era of pro wrestling is going to make for excellent documentaries 20 years, 15, 20 years down the line. How this was all started and how this affected the talent and this, that. Like, it's going to be awesome. And I love pro wrestling, and I'm so happy to be a pro wrestling fan right now. It's just unreal. So, I'm actually going to sign off now. And again, thank you all so much for helping make one of my goals a reality here with Twitch. Now as an affiliated Twitch broadcaster. And also, thank you to Greywolf Raventhorne for coming on the show to talk to me. Great interview. It'll be up tomorrow on Fill in the Void Podcast Network and all the podcast outlets on the 18th. So it should be available by tomorrow at the very latest. I'm going to run. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for supporting the show, and I hope you continue to support the show. Go out and support your local independent wrestling this weekend. You never know when the next big star is going to be right in front of your face. Thank you so much again. I will see you all, because I'm already going to tell you right now, I'm not going on Saturday, I'm not going on Sunday. This is my real-time job. I'm going to be plowing, and it's going to be a big pain in my ass. I don't feel like doing the show after doing hours upon hours of plowing. So I will see you next Thursday, where I will have, oh God, hold on. Hang tight there. I have the guest list coming up. Where I will have James Anthony on I'll have James Anthony on next Thursday.